Hello, welcome to the fourth lesson in the Leadership and Ministry course. I'm Dr. Fred Garmon. The movie We Were Soldiers depicts the life and leadership of Lieutenant Colonel Hal Moore. The film reminds us that in the painful realities of war, the importance of leadership practices like modeling what matters is intensified. While training his officers, Moore communicated that he came from the paratroopers, where the officer was always the first man out of the plane. He argued that this was so officers could follow their instincts and inspire their soldiers by example, being with them in the intensity of battle. The film illustrates this priority with Moore's speech to the 7th Cavalry before going into battle, where he makes this promise to his soldiers. I can't promise you that I will bring you all home alive, but this I swear before you and Almighty God, that when we go into battle, I will be the first to set foot on the field, and I will be the last to step off. And I will leave no one behind, dead or alive. We will all come home together, so help me God. This commitment to being the first into battle and the last to leave exemplifies the core of our focus during this lesson, modeling what matters. It's evident that the Apostle Paul understood this principle as he in 1 Corinthians 11:1 called us to follow him as he follows Christ. Then again in Philippians 3:17, brothers, join in imitating me and keep your eyes on those who walk according to the example you have in us. Also Hebrews 13:7. Remember your leaders, consider the outcome of their life, and imitate their faith. Paul's leadership style is pretty obvious. Follow my example. Imitate me. Put what you have learned into practice. It's modeling. The best way to lead is not to tell people what to do, but to show them by example. And showing involves more than just a training session. It's a complete lifestyle that exemplifies what matters most in life. For Paul, it meant modeling things like integrity, responsibility, equipping, and empowering people. One of the things we think we're learning about leadership is that it's not a skill. It's a collection of skills and reinforcing principles. For instance, Kouzes and Posner's research discovered that when leaders were at their extraordinary best, they were doing 5 things. And at the top of the list was modeling the way. Leaders were intentionally serving as an example to their followers. Consider James 1:22 through 24. Be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving yourselves. For if anyone is a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like a man observing his natural face in a mirror. For he observes himself, goes away, and immediately forgets what kind of man he was. These scriptures remind us to not only talk the talk, but to walk the walk. To be sure we live our lives in alignment. Effective and empowering leaders set an example for others through their intentional example. Leaders build mutual trust and affirm the common values shared by the community. Regardless of your leadership context, learning the importance of knowing what matters and modeling what matters as a leader is essential. We read in Exodus 13:19 that when Moses left Egypt, he did not leave without taking something of his past with him. Moses carried with him the bones of Joseph. These bones represented what matters most, their core values. The question is, do we know what our core values are? Do you know what your values are? Eleanor Roosevelt said, if you want to know what people value, ask them to show you their checkbook. Jesus said, where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. We simply cannot talk about leadership as if it was value-free. People want to know, does this person stand for worthy ideas? Does she or he have a character we can trust? Does he properly use resources to get the job done? What matters most to you is always displayed most prominently through your actions and behaviors. In this regard, Edgar Schein provided an eye-opening list of embedding mechanisms of cultural values. 1. What leaders regularly pay attention to, measure, and control. 2. What leaders react to critical situations and crises. 3. The criteria by which leaders allocate scarce resources. 4. The deliberate role modeling, coaching. 5. The criteria by which leaders allocate rewards and status. 6. The criteria by which leaders recruit, promote, demote employees. Leadership is much more than just influence. When influence alone defines leadership, Hitler qualifies as a successful leader. Leadership arouses passion and engages our values. The very term leadership is value-laden. The first step in effective leadership is defining core values. What matters most to you, to your church, to your organization? Until this is settled, the ship the leader is attempting to steer has no rudder. Vision, mission, strategy, and outcomes are difficult, if not impossible, to define until values are clear, until you know what matters most. And things that matter most must never be at the mercy of things that matter least. I'm going to see you in the next lesson of this course.